Things that we had to think about were what are we going to be using this camper for? We were thinking of using a caravan, but we didn't want to tow around an 18 to 22 foot caravan with the Ford Territory. Considerations were weight, where you can get with this sort of thing, because what we want to use it for, we want to sort of tour around Tassie and Australia and almost do sort of a pub crawl, if you like, with free camping sort of mingled in between. So, we looked at many options. We did have we had about a 12 foot, I think it was 12 foot Joey, which is sort of like it's a little camper caravan where the back pops up and you can stand up in it from the back. And you can, it's got everything in there. It didn't have a toilet or a shower, but these are things that you can work around. So we knew that we did want to take it to free camping spots in between our travels. So it needed to be sort of self-contained, and we didn't want it to be too heavy. So we thought, okay, if we're going to be using it just to travel around and doing pub crawls and visiting places and maybe staying overnight in some log cabins and that sort of thing, we really need a full-on living like a caravan. And when we looked at what was around, they were expensive for what they are. So that's when we came up with the Stockman, because we thought, well, hey, if we're just traveling around from place to place, all we really need is when we're not in a cabin or a hotel or a motel or a caravan park or something like that. We just need somewhere nice and cozy to sleep in and have a kitchen, because the whole thing with what we want to do is being outside. We don't want to be just in a caravan, where you go somewhere and you look out and you go, oh, isn't that a nice beach scene? Oh, it's a really nice beach. And you come in, you've got all those creature comforts, almost like you're in a house. We want to be sitting more outside, cooking outside, with some protection, through back wing awnings and all that sort of thing. And so we did a fair bit of investigation into that. Spend budget. Our real budget was 50 to 60. We were looking at to give us some money left over to do other things. So spend budget was important. And when you're spending sort of $50,000 to $60,000 on something, if it's second-hand, you're putting a lot of trust in the people that had it first. But if you're buying new, you do have a bit of a warranty there. And we did look at, let me have a look here. The Rhino Max, beautiful, perfect for what we wanted, but they're over $100,000 new. Trail. Then you've got your Sterlings, and you got your trailers where the top pops up and it's all canvassy. Well, the trouble with that is, see, we're based in Tassie, and if you're getting a lot of rain and stuff, once that canvas gets wet and you close it back in, somewhere along the line it's got to all dry out. I know a lot of it now is sort of like that plasticky. It's not like a canvas anymore. It doesn't soak up as much, but you still got water and stuff in there, and I just didn't like the idea. Plus, if you're out somewhere and it's pretty cold, and the top half of what you're staying in is just canvas, you've virtually just got a thin skin around you, and that's going to lose a lot of heat. It might be okay in a hot area like Queensland or whatever, where a bit of a breeze comes through and whatever. you've also got other issues too, like noise would really travel through, and it didn't really appeal to me to have a canvas pop-up top of any form. So sort of that was out of the question. Let's go to the next one. Build quality. The build quality we wanted was something that we could trust. We heard a lot of these Chinese caravans that were coming in, or campers, were using their quality control standards, and in relation to the base of them, the metal, a lot of them have got thicker, like quite a heavy base, because the quality of the metal wasn't to Australian standard. So I wanted something, even if we got the parts from China, it has to be built here because I've heard and read and seen where caravans and campers and all that have come over from China, and when they go to plug in their electrical appliances and stuff, everything sort of goes out of whack because it's the electrician over there hasn't connected it up to how our electricity works here, sort of thing. So there's been all those sort of dramas. So build quality was good. Again, we had somebody. We couldn't go and visit the Stockman Rover itself because they're made in Victoria and we're based in Tasmania. But we had a very good, you'll laugh, but a very good engineering friend of ours, Dean, who went out and had a look, and he went over it with a fine-tooth comb. The Stockman Rovers are built. They do get parts from overseas, but it's assembled here, and the standards are Australian standard. So that was good. So we were happy with that. Weight and fuel costs. Well, weight, of course, because we've got the Ford Territory, so we've got a certain capacity that we can tow. I won't go into all the ball weight and how much we can pull, and then you've got to add the weight of what you put in the camper or the caravan, and then you've got to add that on. And you don't want to be overweight. If you get to a weigh station and they check you out, you don't want to get fines or risk doing the wrong thing, because it also jeopardises your safety and things like that. So a pod type sort of camper kept the weight down, which was good for us. And the other thing is fuel costs. Now, the 18 to 22 foot caravans, they're going to really struggle because fuel costs. You're towing around this caravan all around the place, and it's fun, but the cost of fuel is just going up. So we wanted to keep our costs down, when we're towing something, and also what's the aerodynamics. The Stockman Rover has really got it's quite futuristic in its looks, but its aerodynamics are quite good for towing along. It's sort of like a teardrop. So I was pretty happy with that. Availability. Okay, so if you're buying something, you want it to be available. That's why I think a lot of people they go into these caravan yards and whatever, and they see something and they go, right, well, that's something I can have now. They can buy it new there or whatever. In the case of the Stockman Rovers, they're so much in demand. There is a bit of a build time lag with them. With us, it was about 8 months, I think. Kimber might pick me up on this, but where are we now? We're now in late April, and we won't be able to pick ours up until hopefully mid-December. So, but what do they say? Sometimes the best things are worth waiting for. So, of course they've got to build the thing, and we'll go there and check it out. And it's as they're building it, we make instalment payments. Well, we're not paying a whole lot of money up front, which is really good. We just pay a deposit, and as the build gets closer and closer, we only make our final instalment when we're happy with it and we tow it away. Resale value. Well, That's another big thing. Let's say Kimber and I have done all our homework, and for some reason, whatever, it just doesn't work. It doesn't, everything that we thought we were going to use it for, it didn't work out. I don't think that's going to be the case, but then you've got to think, well, okay, what do we do with it? We can't just leave it in the backyard. It's worth about 50, 60 grand. And Stockman Rovers have got a very good resale value. I love the design of the Stockman. It's sort of futuristic. I've been doing a lot of stuff on the internet where we're visiting Mars and we're on the moon and all that sort of thing. So I'm pretty excited about the design. Of course, it doesn't have a inbuilt toilet, and the shower has got a shower curtain that drops down on the outside and you go around. So we'll need a little toilet tent and things like that. But we've done them before when we had the Joey, so it's not a deal breaker for us. Both things only take about 5 minutes to set up. So, and as far as outside protection, it's got a back wing, I think they call it, the awning that comes right around like an umbrella, and it's quite easy to sort of set up and secure. The back lifts up. You've got a whole kitchen in there. We wanted that, and we also went for a 2,000 watt inverter with lithium battery, a large lithium battery. We want to be able to sort of boil a kettle or have a heater going inside the pot if it gets a bit cold. We're not having an air conditioner yet, but functionality wise, and it's got a ladder on the side so we can put up a small boat or a couple of kayaks or something like that. So it's got all the bells and whistles that you would want on something, if you're doing free camping and things like that. It's got the nice cozy pod inside where you can protect from the elements. It's got two big doors on the sides, so functionality wise, I can get out one side of the bed, and we can get out the other if we have to go to the loo in the middle of the night or something. Because a lot of these pod trailers, the beds are east-west, or so one person's got to sort of roll over the other to get out, or the beds are north-south, but you have to sort of slide forward. It's like a crocodile. You've got to go sort of slide feet first and then get up. And when you're getting on in your years as we are, that's something you don't really look forward to. So I like the idea that the Stockman Rover's got doors that just open up either side, and you can just hop out and away you go. So we're pretty excited. So we just hope this has been a bit of a guide to you selecting your next caravan or camper. As I think the biggest thing is, what are you going to use it for? Because it is a big investment, to a lot of small families, or everyone, even ourselves. It's something that you're investing a lot of money, and it's going towards a lifestyle that you're looking forward to, an adventure. So it's pretty exciting times. I like these ones. I like the campers for young families and that, where the kids can sleep up on top. I think that's a great idea, in those tents that sit on top on the camper trailers. If I had a young family again, I'd go for something like that. Even with the canvas and the fact that it's all got to fold down and it could be wet in there and all the rest of it, I think I'd work around that because of the price. And the kids can go up there a little later and they can stay up there while mum and dad sleep inside. Anyway, so hope that's been a bit of a help to you, and we'll look forward to. We'll keep you informed as we go along.